Alright. I don't even know where to begin. First off, who's the son of a bitch who greenlit platforming in Chapter 3 in Poppy Playtime? Because I'm going to drag you out in the street and shoot you. I mean, when I bought the game, I really had no idea that I wasn't even going to get past go. Can somebody tell me how everyone else can make those fucking jumps but me? Can somebody help me out here? I mean, how are y'all fucking doing that? I jump like this. That's it. I'm supposed to make those jumps. And how are you doing it? Making it look... How is it everyone is doing that shit but me? I really have to know. Of course, I could have tried, I could try taking a look at the guides. Of course, they're all full of toxic ramblings of people trying to troll you instead. So, don't trust the community either. It's nothing but clickbait and trolling, so the community pages and Poppy Playtime are for shit. Because to tell you the truth, the reason why I started this whole Poppy Playtime shit was I was on the track of collecting hands. I put it together in Chapter 1. I get the necessary hands in Chapter 2, and then I finally round it about and get the final hands in Chapter 3. No fucking problem, right? Until they pull a fucking reverse Ubisoft. Like over here, like how people are like, they didn't implement stealth too well in a game that's supposed to be designed for it. Well, here in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, they're fucking cramming in platforming sections in a game that really wasn't meant for fucking platforming. I don't know who greenlit this, but you're straight up on my shit list. You just take a feel of the jump and this. I just have to say that it feels like it's trying to make itself into something that it's not. And up until then, it's been going great. So somebody thought, oh, I know, let's put this in to, appease the fucking platformer fans, and you fucked it up. Because the physics of the game, just the downright physics itself of the game, wasn't meant for this shit. I mean, I can feel it in the controls and the way I jump. It's almost as if it just really wasn't meant for this shit. But someone thought to put it in there anyway. Thanks for that genius idea. Nothing is of any help. Communities are of no help. YouTube is just making me look bad. What the hell is with that? You know what? I'll clean it later. It's not hitting right. It's like half of it's going somewhere else. But basically what I mean to say is that you're trying to put platforming sections in a game that wasn't physically meant for it. You done made the fucking chapter unplayable. It's downright unplayable. I paid for this. crashing all the time. Just chapter 3 is just downright unplayable. At this point, I'm kind of just starting to want my money back. But really, I just don't know how else to describe it. The way the physics are in the game, as opposed to what it's asking of you. It's not made for this shit. Oh, okay. It's like the mechanics in Security Breach. The only way I could describe it is the teleporting animatronics and the way the stealth mechanics are done. Seems as if they tried to cram in some stealth mechanics into a game that doesn't support it. Go figure. And you would think Poppy Playtime would, learn from those kind of mistakes. But no, they fucking doubled down. And again, cramming fucking mechanics into a game that wasn't even built for it. So we learned nothing? Well, alright then, it's good to know. Or what people feel. No, honestly, I would give both of my fucking testicles to have that phaser blaster. But according to how people feel, the phaser blaster was just a quick band-aid. It's a cheap way to get out of the jump scare mechanics. And they say you put in a gun in a game that wasn't built for it. Okay, fair enough. See? Let's make some examples here. You know, even Dead by Daylight has come across this kind of problem in a huge way. You realize that Dead by Daylight was never meant to run as it is now. It was a small indie project with a few killers, and it was never meant to be this big, which is why it's constantly breaking. Is because this so wasn't meant for this. But here and there they get around it. They fix it. They patch it. They work it out. Now, if you're gonna cram in a bunch of shit that doesn't belong there, god damn it, work it out. For God's sakes. Don't just cram it in there and call it a day. Work it out. Sort of like, I'm getting to understand what people mean, when it comes to like, since the AI couldn't compensate for tracking you in an open world, they had to cheat with teleportation. I mean, I really was having so much fun up until chapter 3, and then it just... Who thought that was a good idea? So, it feels like I bought a game that I just can't play. I can't play, or I bought a chapter that it's just straight up unplayable. I mean, like, alright, I mean, if you're gonna stick platforming mechanics, could you have worked on your jump? Because, you see, that's the biggest issue. I'm trying to cross over these pistons with a limited time, and I have a 1-inch jump. I swear to God, it's like a trap setup. Like Amanda Young, it's like, okay, when she got the key, she was able to unlock the device, realized that there was no way out anyways. Those things were drilled into her fucking rib cage. There was no way out. Pretty fucking unfair, huh? So you can now get to understand why I hate Amanda Young so much. And why it's just so upsetting that John Kramer could just never let go. He had 3 chances to learn this lesson. After the second try, you would think John Kramer would move on, realize she's a lost cause, but no. And And then there was Hoffman. Just a crooked cop. Yep. Good night. Snarky. Look at me in that tone. Wreck your shit. And so, you know, after all that I've been trying to do, I thought I'd come back to something that's actually fun. So here I am in Valhalla. Because honestly, I was forgetting how to actually have fun, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but seriously. I need to remember how to have fun and shit again, man. So come with me on this adventure as we stroll through the valleys and the hills, over the hills and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. Come with. Yeah. But I had to get that angry rant off my chest. Truly, I mean, I usually don't. I usually say don't make, you know, games and stuff like personal and shit, but truly, whoever greenlit that, I'm gonna punch him in the face. He had a good thing going. And then you have to try to make your game into something that's not. Who do you think you are, Castlevania? Come on, dial it back. You're not Ninja Gaiden, you're not Dark Souls. Dial it back. Oh yeah. I know. Oh yeah. I love you. I love you. I don't know why these aren't quite hitting right. It's a little like the loafers. I should be doubled over. Coughing up a lung just feels weird. Yeah, like half of the dab isn't getting there. Well, actually, you know what? How about a Black Death instead? I do need to whittle this down a bit. It's getting up there. And pretty soon, when we need to empty out, we'll have like literally nowhere to put it. It's time to do my civic duty and whittle it down. Let's posse up. There we go. Boom. Okay. About. Yeah. There we go. Hey, Pasu, have you ever done a super duper ultra mega Black Death dab? I'll put that challenge out to you. Pasu, do a Pasu dab, but do it with Black Death. I want to see if you can pull it off. I mean, he's quite the daredevil. I don't think he would turn down that challenge. I mean, Black Death, you know, Black Dabs matter. You know, black dabs matter. I like that. Remember, boys and girls, black dabs matter. No, cray cray. Burn off a little. Or am I somebody old? And then we're going to do some Dead by Daylight, you know, the fun shit. And trust and believe, I am never going to do a Five Nights at Freddy's stream again. And there will be no Poppy Playtime stream. I'm not going to do that to me or you guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like there would be no one would. I don't see anybody enjoying that content. I sure know that it would be an absolute chore and a nightmare to make that content. Because nobody would have fun with it. So I deem it unnecessary. And was it a challenge thing? You know, you could have adjusted the jump trajectory or anything to make it a little more reasonable, and you wouldn't have fucked with the challenge that much, because that's just one aspect out of like, what, 10? Like chase scenes, fucking puzzle solving, all that other shit. You really don't need to add false challenge here. You have enough challenges, it's fine. Okay, here's a way to describe it. It's like they added in platforming, but your jump is still as nerfed as ever. Does that make sense? They added in the platforming, but they didn't adjust for it. The physics aren't right. I feel like I'm jumping like a boulder. I just, you know, I have a 1-inch jump. It don't feel right, man. You expect me to make those jumps and in a hurry? Now listen to me closely, and I'm being serious. The next chapter of Poppy Playtime, when you're developing said chapter, I beg of you, put the crack pipe down. Those ideas are not logical. Try again. I'm just taking a stroll. I mean, just look at the scenery though, huh? It's not even a PlayStation 5 and it looks that beautiful. I could only imagine. But honestly, as we all know, the PlayStation 5 has nowhere near the capacity in 100 years to be able to hold my whole library. Not even close. And I'm not buying a console to hot swap files. That's also how shit gets corrupt. You see, I'm not going to be like hot swapping which games I'm going to play and which ones I need to delete to make room the whole time. That's just... holy crap. And not to mention that downloads take forever too, so every time you want to swap up what games you have to play, you have to wait hours on end for those ones to download, delete the others to make room, and you keep having to hot swap like this, like all day. Yeah, no, how's about I don't do that? I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good with the PlayStation 4. It works. It has a hell of a lot of my library on here. I got myself 5 terabytes at my disposal. Yeah, I'm good. I'm great. I don't see the PlayStation 5 doing that anytime soon. That's the scary part. Not to mention, not only would it have to hold my PlayStation 4 library, dude, it would of course have to hold my future PlayStation 5 library. You serious? No, that's never gonna fly. And I'm saying this without pride or without bragging. You should see my library. 5 terabytes isn't quite enough, so I prioritize as to what, but still, it's holding a lot. So I didn't have to make so many sacrifices that I otherwise would have with a PlayStation 5. It was still very flexible. All in mind, despite a hard drive or solid state, my having to wait for hours on end for each of these game downloads and sometimes updates. I forgot to mention that I'm running on 10G, if that means anything. Comcast kept saying it was overkill, and I keep giving them the look like, oh, shut up. Have you any idea what I do with my internet for a living? You just zip it. I'm getting my 10G. With my bandwidth needs, there is no such thing as overkill. Then I wouldn't be able to stream so freely. See? Just flawless streaming. Uh-huh. You know, lower bandwidths and such, yeah, gonna have a harder time. You cannot tell me it's overkill. I could totally use all the power I can get. Trust me. I do some crazy things with my internet. Just look at those water effects. And the PlayStation 4 is still struggling with reflections, but you really can't even tell. It looks all so natural. I mean, if they had to fake all those reflections and water effects, they did a damn good job. I just love stuff like that. Oh, here's a weird question. How can you tell if your PC has ray tracing or not? Is there like a way to go in there and just be able to tell, like a sign to look for? Like, we need to look for, is this brand and build in your engine in here somewhere? Like, you can tell whether or not you're running ray tracing or not, or if you're capable of even doing so. Little things. You think as a tech guy I would, but no, it's like, that's the funny thing. It's like being a doctor or a lawyer and shit like that. A forensic pathologist is, every time you think you would know everything, shit's still gonna surprise you. Take you right back to school. Just, you know, the professionals have admitted this for sure. And I'm back. I don't know why I was thinking of this, but I'm speaking of tech shit, you know, like you know, and like speaking of admitting it too, like even some tech dudes like had to go and look it up on the internet because that was a new one. Now, have any of you yeeted your cell phone into the toilet? I have, at least twice. Now that's not a new one, of course. No, I mean, you know, I wouldn't insult your intelligence like that. No. Have you ever killed your phone with a Cadbury cream egg? That's the new one. They all gave me a look. What? It could happen to anybody. No, I'm the only one. But how's that for a new one for you? I killed my phone with a Cadbury cream egg. And not on purpose either. For real. Don't look at me like that. But yeah, you know, sometimes, oh shit, that's a new one. I need to see my manager. Fuck. Yeah, it happens. In fact, again, there was a new one in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. The latest error was I was trying to stick the battery in the hole, and next thing you know, it had a fucking item placement error. Like, holy shit. There's a new one for the list. One of them was a texture error, like ran out of texture RAM. Like, what? Location could not be found. What? Are you just making these up? Just throwing errors at me and shit and see which one sticks. Jesus Christ, man. I swear it's doing it to fuck with me at this point. It really doesn't want me to grab those hands. I mean, it's like it knows that's why I got the games in the first place, was to collect the hands. You just really don't want me to have those fuckers, don't you? I mean, if I could just like use a console command to just place them in my inventory, you know what? I actually wouldn't be so huffy. Honestly, at least I got my hands. I can take my time, go through the game. It's not like you can cheat apparently either, though. That purple jump hand, you can't just use it anywhere you want. You have to have a purple hand pad. But nonetheless, at least I wouldn't be so pissed off. I'd have my hands. I could just go through the game normally. If I'm stuck on level 1 for the level 1 in that chapter for the rest of my stupid life, at least I have my hands. See? Well, it seems to be my boggle. I just want what I paid for. I paid to collect hands. You're not even giving me the first one like usual. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Or Chapter 1, you get your hand, you build it up. Chapter 2, you get your new hand after you lose one of the old ones. And in Chapter 3, it just, I can't even get that far. You threw the challenge at me before the hand. That the platforming and that kind of tone switch really fucked me up. Oh yeah. And it seems like someone was onto this thing to where, like, what would happen if instead of killing Catnap, you spared his life. It even seemed to allow you to keep your green hand, because apparently, I didn't know this either. Is it that when you kill Catnap, you lose your green hand, so by time Chapter 4, you're down another hand? What will replace it? I've got questions, but that's not important right now. Ugh, headshot, biatch. get in my bat. I don't have a bird, I have a bat. Because it's cooler. I got a cat and a bat. Strolling through the jungle with my cat. I'm strolling through the jungle with my cat. Hey, get back here, you asshole. What the fuck, dude? You ditched me. What an asshole.
Go.
I think I know what the problem is too. Poppy Playtime 1 and 2 were pretty fun for me. I'm digging the shit out of it. Everyone else thought it was subpar at best and hated it at worst. Chapter 3, however, everyone seems to love it. Maybe that's why I fucking hate it. It's not like it needs me to rescue it. I mean, everybody loves the hell out of it. It's not like it's unpopular or unloved. I'm pretty much just trying to fix it for my sake. As Poppy Playtime 1 and 2, I wanted to rescue it after a certain point because I was like, you know, it's not so bad. I like the lore. The concepts, a lot of its concepts are pretty cool. I think I'm going to go for it. But yeah, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 is not unloved. And honestly, actually doesn't need any rescuing at all. And is that the reason why me and it don't get along? It's the white sheep. It's the opposite of the black sheep. It's like we have two unloved chapters that get along with me. Then we have this popular chapter that we're just not clicking. No, maybe that should have been a red flag that before I bought chapter 3 that, well shit, it's so beloved, should I really get this chapter? I mean, like, take a look at Valhalla over here, nobody liked it. I mean, I like living in this world. It's even when I'm doing nothing at all, and I'm just chilling here with my cat and my bat, it is so comforting. It's like going out camping or going out on a hike. It's just, the sights are breathtaking. Come and see. It's almost time for the second half of my dinner. Yeah, I finally worked up an appetite. I've been burning a lot of gray matter. Just trying to figure out chapter 3 alone. And when it comes to one-player games, I say that verbatim. If you can't beat it, cheat it. And that's partially what I love about chapter 1 and 2 too. Like in chapter 1, it's nice having Skibbity Toilet around. That's hilarious. Skibbity wop wop wop. Skibbity Toilet. So that's Skibbity Toilet, right? Does that make me one of the camera dudes from it? I'm a camera dude in a black suit wielding a grab pack. Would also make sense how, like, say, like, doesn't it feel like Poppy can always, it's not like she's always watching us, but it's almost like even when you're apart, it's like she can see what you see. Like, how'd you know that? Oh, and think about it this way. Remember that footage at the beginning of, like, running down the hall away from something? Oh my god. I might be onto something here. Your character is fitted with a camera. I don't know when and I don't know how, but that would make some things make a lot of sense. I mean, that's what it is in my canon in Dead by Daylight. Instead of, like, it being the entity's red stain, they call it, it's the red light of the camera that I have attached to that said subject, so that while it's chasing you, I can acquire battle data. You know, classic Wesker shit. Combat data, brother. And the only way you can do, like, for example, Sadako, of course, you can't attach a camera to a ghost, so what's the next best thing? Exhume her body and attach it to that. There you go. Again, like, I don't believe in the rule of cool. If it doesn't make sense, don't put it in there. Even your head canon. Well, I at least want to try to make it as believable as I can. Even the point where I defeat the entity and take control. I think, well, look at all these guys here that, you know, could and would defeat the entity, and then say that infamous FNAF line, what makes you so goddamn special? Well, actually, I know its weakness. Blight. Blight is like cancer to the entity. It can't take it. It's a weakness. Now, what if instead of, like, blight, you know, coming from the usual source, like, well, it is connected to Halloween, blight, this substance, and instead of, like, that's why I replaced the blight with William Birkin, especially too, because my blight source character is what I call, as you all know, the Great Pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin is the source of the blight, in which I have made a pact and a prayer with the Great Pumpkin to supply me with enough blight to defeat the entity, of which hence I then take command. Like Jigsaw style. It's like, I wasn't going to stop the games or nothing. These are pretty fun, actually. No, I just wasn't going to I just wasn't going to allow the entity to stay in power. I would be crazy to do otherwise. You got to take control of the situation first, and then start the experiments. That's like starting with all of your specimens just straight up on the loose. No, that's not how we do things. Understandable, right? Alright, I'm gonna have a smoke for right now. Have some dinner, have some dinner, have a smoke, and play the 2 chapters that are actually fun.